Good morning, mud monsters, and welcome along for another dig here in Norfolk. We're having another little mini rally today. There's one quite large field. Actually, I'd say it's an exceptionally large field. Maybe about 20 of us. There's plenty to go around. There's so much history here. I can't really go into it all. There's just everything here. So today, absolutely anything could come up. So that's quite exciting. The weather is overcast at the moment. We've had a bit of rain, so it should be easy digging. Hopefully there's not too much more rain, and the temperature's quite nice, so that's pleasant enough as well. Going to get a bit muddy, but prepared for that. I'm really excited. There's just no telling what's going to come up. I've got no preconceptions. It's just going to be, let's dig it every single time and let's see what we get. Right, without any wasting more time, let's get on to the first find. Right guys, just I've had a couple of buttons up, nothing exciting so far, but it's only been about 10 minutes, but we've got a nice little signal here. There you go. See on the CTX. 12:30. 3 inches down. Let's dig it. Out of the hole. Let's have a little look. Somewhere in that clump. Let's have a look. What do we see? I think I feel a big bit of lead. There we go. Yeah, big old lump of lead. Always a good sign. People have been here doing things. Lovely old job. What is this whinging about? Don't you start playing up. Lovely little ring ding ding here. Two inches down, quite a big signal in metal detecting terms. Let's dig it. Right, what have we got this time? Did sound quite big, but I don't know if that's sort of coin big or I don't know. Apparently there's no green waste on here, so it's not likely to be modern stuff. I can see something a bit intriguing there. Can you see that? Oh, it's one of these, look. Bit of a copper hoop there. So that's probably a piece of horse tack or something along those lines. So yeah, it's basic, but it's still a find. Lovely old job. Sorry I didn't do a live dig on this, guys, because it was such a hard signal to find, but there we go, there's that. Now, my first thoughts are maybe a little hobnail. I mean, I'll go on a little flight of fancy, but maybe a hobnail off a Roman soldier's sandal. We're not a million miles away from a Roman road. Maybe. Or could it just be a stud off a belt? It's cool either way, it's a find, and I will take it. There we go, another button, quite a nice one, fully intact with the shank. Found quite a few buttons so far. I can't really put that down to settlement, that could just be shoddy trade. But yeah, that's quite nice, that. Okay, this goes out to everyone on Facebook. Today, the competition is to guess how many buttons I will find. That's just me, there's no Bernie today. So how many buttons am I going to find today? I'll give you an idea. So far, I'm about half an hour in, I've already found about 4. So we're here for about 6 or 7 hours. So work on that basis. Good luck everyone. Well, listen to this. Three inches down, and it's bumping between 11:30. It did go up higher as well. There you go, 12:23, 12:18. Right, is any way to find out what it is? Let's dig it. Right, it's out of the hole somewhere. There. What have we got? Anybody see anything? this? Where's this? No. Oh, I think I can see it there. What's this? Ah. Okay. Well, that's starting to look really interesting, isn't it? Okay. Quick clean up. Oh, had it already. There we go. Look at this. There's some detail on that. Beautiful. It's a bit of discoloration on the back, so maybe there was a pin in there. So it's got to be some kind of brooch, I would think. But what era? Difficult to say. Have to look into this one a bit more, I think. Sorry about the wind noise. Gosh, it's picking up. Hello mud monsters. Been going about an hour or so now. Not in this field behind me, I should say. This has got obviously seed on it. But there's lots coming up all over the field. There's silvers coming up, crotal bells. There's all kinds of things. So that's as expected, really, a real mix. Just spoke to someone who's a little bit more professional as regards history than me. Says that the little bit of metal with a fancy on it that I got a couple of digs back, sorry, a couple of holes back, looks like a bit of a Saxon brooch, so that's a real result. Says the design seems to fit that, and I tend to believe her. She knows her stuff. But I'll try to get a picture of that up with a bit more detail on it so you can see it. It's obviously broken, but my first bit of Saxon, I believe, so that's a real result. As you can see, it's quite damp over here, so I haven't got down onto the ground, but this is one just come out of the ground, little button, little tom back there, again with a shank. Don't often come up with the shank on there. More buttons to add to the pile. Sun's come out, everyone's digging away. All gathered over there at the moment, like a bit of a herd. Anyway, just for a change, what have we got here? Well, yeah, another button. But again, it's got the shank on it. So the buttons are coming up in great condition. What that means, I have no idea. But still to find anything coin wise, that's a shame. I do love a coin, but the Saxon brooch has been lovely. Right, I'm going to head down that way, see what I find. Right, first hole after lunch, and there we go. Again, the veterans amongst you will know straight away. I'll give it a quick clean up and we'll have a little chat about this little fellow. So here we are. These often get mistaken for quite interesting relics when actually they're just the rod holder on the stairs for carpet. So to your left you see the little spike that gets rammed into the sort of vertical part of the step, I suppose you call it, and then the flat bit should have a little hole. It's all filled up, but in there, and you nail that down and the carpet rod goes in between. So there you go, find them all the time, and there's your myth of it being a relic dissolved. It's a bit windy, guys, but I'll try and get this in between the blasts. Lovely constant signal there. 11:36, so I'm not necessarily hopeful it's a coin. Oh, it's gone up a bit. 3 inches down. Let's dig it. Right, it's out of the hole on the left here. thought. Anything wrong? Somewhere in here. Oh, hello. Round and in the ground. But I fear it has a shank. Ah! Can you imagine if it was round that way? I'd have probably had a heart attack. Well, another button. Quite a shiny one. Lovely old job. Here we go, guys. Sorry again I didn't film it. It's been a bit windy at times. But look at that. It's a broken bit of a buckle or a brooch. Again, not sure on the age because there's just everything going on here, so could be Roman. Don't think it's Saxon, it's not that sort of style, is it? But could be Roman, or maybe it's just more modern than that. There we go, another find. Keep on going. Right, on a bit of ploughed land here. It's a little bit easier to dig, but not quite claggy still. Oh, that's a clonker. Let me show you that on the CTX, a big signal. Oh, I'm gonna say it's in the coin range. Only one way to find out. Let's dig it. Well, false hope. Look at this. That is the biggest, shiniest bolt I've ever found. Probably dropped on this particular ploughing session. Look at the size of that. Well, that presumably means something to someone somewhere. Right. Right guys, got a little screamer here. Bit jumpy that angle. Bit better there. Big splodge. 1344, 5 inches deep. Let's dig it. It's windy. So sorry if I'm not doing loads of live digs, it's just quite noisy out here now. Right, there's something in the hole down here. I'll swing you around, let's see what it is. Right, over this side. Aha! Round in the ground, please. Oh god, it feels thick. So let's do an analysis then. Feels thick. Looks like a coin. Don't see a shank. Anyone there yet? Look at the shape. I think I'm starting to know. Let's have a quick clean up. There we go. Some of you are already there, I'm sure. The shape gives a big giveaway. There's George the 6th. Turn that over. And there we go. A 3p. What's the date? 1944. There we go. Got one of these. Was it last week or the week before? It's not in too bad shape, to be fair. That'll clean up nice. Right, on to the next one. Another hole dug, another button. A very buttony day, and my silver drought continues. Ugh. There's always hope, the next hole maybe. Well, I said maybe the next hole, and can you believe it? The next hole, round in the ground, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like a very neat, nice neat circle there, isn't it? So probably a pre-decimal penny. Let's have a quick clean up. Well, there we go. Might just make it out on the left hand side. It says George's. On cleaning it up I could see the head to the right. It's a George the 3rd penny. It's actually in quite good condition. I know it doesn't look it, but turn that around. For these kind of pennies, they normally come up utterly destroyed, but you can see Britannia there. You even see the wording of Britannia. Quite rare. Lovely old job, nice solid copper. There we go, the tools of my trade. Lovely mine lab gear. Oh, this wind. Right, can you see it? Honestly, this was such a crappy signal, I just didn't even... I thought, nah. But then I had a little go, thinking, you know, I'll just clear a bit of soil, and it got better and better and better. And oh my god, it could... Just the condition looks amazing already. Oh, it's clearly complete. Ah, what a great looking thing. You know, I'm excited now. I need to take a breath. I've struggled all day. People are pulling up lovely things. This is finally my find of the day. I could be happy, go home knowing I've got something awesome. Right, I'll stop talking. Let me clean this up. Well, there we go. Look at that. It is a little bit deformed because it has been hit, I think just under there, but it's only small amounts. I think that's quite an early one. Looking at this part here at the top, looks really quite basic, doesn't it? These are great. So these went on cattle, and inside there should be a little iron P that will ring, a ding 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 like that. That said, that hole there is quite large, so it may have fallen out, but I'll get it home, I'll get it cleaned. If it rings, I'll be well excited. While we're talking about ringing, don't forget, ding-a-ling-ding, hit the bell and it'll give you notifications of new videos. Lovely old job. Right guys, look at this little thing. I just straight away feel like coat of arms on it, but I think that's just the way sort of the patina and the surface has come off, but there's a couple of little mounting points there. So that's kind of cool. Would have been some kind of fancy, wouldn't it? Right, my afternoon is definitely better than my morning. Okay mud monsters, looks like I'm going to be heading back to the car shortly. Sun's going down, still quite warm to be fair. Wind has its moments, so I'm sorry if that's affected some of the footage, but got about maybe half a kilometre's walk to the car. Maybe I'll get something on the way back. I really would like a silver of any kind. My drought is getting tedious now, but I've had some lovely finds today, so I'm not grumbling at all. Anyway, I'll either see you on the next find or on the wrap up. Well, what do we got here? This is how it's come out of the ground. There's no cleaning gone on. I mean, it looks a bit like well, either the bottom of a bell, debatable, or maybe a vessel of some kind, in which case that could well be a Roman bronze vessel, which would be well nice. Right, I'll have someone who's a bit more intelligent have a look at that and see what they think. Well mud monsters, I'm all done for the day. That was a really good day. It started off a bit slow, but I found a few areas that started to sort of give us some few finds, and worked around that area. I was really happy with the crotal bell and a few other bits I've got. The brooch that I found early on, didn't really know what I'd got there, but spoke to our resident professional here, and turns out it could be saxon brooch, so that's awesome. Never had any saxon till now, so that's great. George III penny, that was okay. It came up quite good condition really for a George III, to be fair. George VI threepence, fairly common, and obviously the crotal bell, but no silver again for me. going through this drought, and it seems like it's going to continue for now. Should try and get out, I think, midweek this week, so maybe another video coming fairly soon. There may not, so we'll see how it goes with that one. But I hope you enjoyed that. Right, now for the results of the Facebook competition on the Discriminator page. Right, I asked how many buttons did I find today? Right. The answer is 14 buttons I found today. I thought I might find more, but it ended up being 14. Some people were well into the 20s and even above that. So there's a lot of buttons on this field. So that means the winner of today's shout out competition is Kerry Reed. Here's your shout out. Well done, Kerry. That's fantastic. This is your first shout out. You had multiple guesses on the page. You really wanted to win. You finally have. I hope you're having a great time today and enjoyed that shout out. Right, guys, that's enough from me. I've had a lovely day. Hopefully there'll be some more videos soon. Till then, ta-ra.